friends, welcome to my channel Math Meda. In this session, we'll be learning today crisply what is the meaning of a positive angle, what is the meaning of a negative angle, and also we'll be learning in how many ways you can measure an angle. These are the three things you're going to learn today in this session. So let us go on with it very crisply. When I have to measure an angle, you know what is an angle. So just I don't want to discuss in detail about that. We have a reference line, or we call it as an initial line, OX. When I call it as an initial line, the meaning is that it is a reference line. Say suppose anybody want to come to your house, then we require a landmark. Similarly, with reference to the landmark, the location becomes very easy. So this initial ray acts as our reference line for understanding an angle, whether it is a positive angle or a negative angle. So just I have a moving ray here, which is at the position capital A suppose. Then at the vertex, I draw an arc here and then say that the angle is alpha. So children, remember that the angles are generally denoted with Greek alphabets, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta, etc. Or the angles are also denoted with alphabets in the uppercase, capital A, capital B, capital C, etc. Now in this, if I measure an angle this way, this is the angle alpha. Let me take another position B. This is some angle beta. Now, if I don't draw the arrow marks, I don't know in which direction the ray is moving out. Let me put an angle here, the arrow mark here and another arrow mark here. This arrow mark says that the ray OA is moving in anti-clockwise direction and the ray OB is moving in clockwise direction. Therefore, if you have to know what is the difference between moving in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction, yes, there is a huge difference. Now, if you observe in your geometry boxes, you have a piece of plastic which is semicircular in shape, which is generally useful to measure the angles. On that protractor, you have two scales, up and down, meaning is that it is a circular shape wherein you have complete revolution makes the angle between 0 degrees to 180 degrees and 180 degrees to 360 degrees. This is what you have observed in your school. So in that we observe that the protractor is scaled such that we move always in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, moving in anti-clockwise direction is treated as positive angle and moving in clockwise direction is treated as negative angle. Negative angle. I said anti-clockwise, it is ANTI. Don't misspell it. And anti-clockwise direction is also called as a counter-clockwise direction. Hope you are clear with this. Now, let us talk about the types of measurement of angle. So when I say positive angle and negative angle, we have different systems in which the angles can be measured. So it can be a British system or French system or Indian system. Now, let us understand the types of measurement. There are three types of measurement. The first one is the sexagesimal. The second one is centesimal. And the next one is the circular measure. Now, let me discuss about the sexagesimal first. In hexadecimal system, the angles are measured in degrees. The angles are measured in degrees. So the symbol is a small 0 at the top of the number. So just don't take it as 0 and then say that anything power 0 is 1. So every degree is 1. No. This is only a symbol, a small 0 on the top. Next, each degree is divided into 60 parts. Is divided into 60 parts. So each part is called a minute. The symbol is just you put a dash here. This dash, we call it as a minute. And for your knowledge, each minute is divided into 60 parts. 60 parts called seconds. Seconds, that is 2 dashes. 2 dashes. So, let me erase this. Children, if anybody want to write it, please pause the video. You can write it so that you can come back to the discussion again. Yeah. Now I am erasing this one now. Therefore, if I take the coordinate axis, okay, what is the meaning of coordinate axis? What about all these things? You can refer my another video where I have discussed in detail how to plot a point and all those things on the coordinate axis. So just look into that video to understand what is the coordinate axis. And so in this, when the initial ray coincides with when the initial ray and the moving ray coincide with each other, the angle is 0 degrees. Now this is 90 degrees, that is 1/4 of the revolution. This is 180 degrees and this is 270 degrees. And of course, if it comes back again, this is 360 degrees. This is 360 degrees. So, in degrees, we just say that one complete revolution, 4 equal parts, 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360. This is your acute angle, obtuse angle, reflex angle, complete angle, and this is your straight angle. This is what you have learned. Now coming to the next one, the next part is the centesimal. In centesimal, you measure the angles in grades. We denote it with a G on the top. So children, we generally don't use this method of measuring the angles, but it is only for your knowledge, therefore I have given it. So if you wanted, just I'll make another video, but it is not required now. So we are jumping over to the circular measure. In circular measure, we measure the angle in radians. We measure the angle in radians. So what is a radian? Let us understand it. As the name suggests, you have a circle. R is the radius of the circle. Now if you move along the circumference of the circle, you just say that you have covered a distance of 2 pi r, which is nothing but the circumference of the circle. That is, you are just covering a length of 2 pi into r. Now let me say that this is the center A. You have a point A, center C, sorry, and you have a point A on the circumference. Let me take another radius CB. So CA is one radius, CB is the other radius. Hence I can say that this length is equal to this length. Now suppose if the length of the RAB is also R, then you might have observed this figure in the pie charts, what you have learned in your statistics. Now this angle is the central angle. If this central angle, okay, now just understand it this way. ABC form a sector. ABC form a sector. Now for this sector, this is the central angle. Now if the bounded part R and R, if all the three are equal, then the central angle will be 1 radian. Remember children, radian is nothing but a number. Now, okay, I have just magnified this one, but 1 radian will be very small. Please remember that. Now, how many 1 radians are possible? I have covered 2 pi r, meaning if I have to move 1 radian, just the bounded things will go on. It is going to cover a length of 2 pi r, meaning 2 pi r such 1 radians are possible. Now, if I consider a unit circle, the meaning of unit circle is the radius is 1. If the radius is 1, then it will be covering the total circumference is 2 pi into 1, which is 2 pi is the one complete revolution. So let us try to relate these two. There I said that this is 0 degrees and 360 degrees. Now in this case, okay, this is 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees and 360 degrees back. Here we have learned that if I am considering a unit circle, when I complete one complete revolution, let me draw it perfectly. Yeah, this is 2 pi radians. Therefore, I can say that 2 pi and 360, okay, let me put it, 2 pi and 360, both are same with reference to the two different measures. So, if I say that this is 0 degrees and 2 pi degrees are coinciding. This is your 180 degrees. 180 degrees means half of 360. Therefore, half of 2 pi will be pi. This is 1/4. So this becomes pi by 2, meaning 2 pi by 4. This is 3/4. So this becomes 3 pi by 2. Now let us frame a relation between these two. Just remember one thing, that is radians by pi is equal to degrees by 180. So don't cancel these two. This is the relation you are going to remember. Suppose I want 45 degrees. So it is r by pi is equal to 45 by 180. 45 by 180. Now 45 into 4 क्या होगा? This is 20 and this is 180. Yeah. So this is 45 ones and 45 fours. So r becomes pi by 4. R becomes pi by 4. So a 45 in degrees will be pi by 4 in radians. Sorry. As I spoke earlier, children, when an angle is given to you, you should be in a position to understand in which quadrant it is going to lie. Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So, when an angle is given 160 degrees, it falls in the second quadrant. 225 degrees, it falls in third quadrant. So, accordingly, you should be in a position to understand. Hence, I can just say that this is the relation you need to remember. More about that we'll be learning in the next session. Thank you, children.